Bring us in, babe.
Welcome to
Coco Caliente. All right, so this is a very special edition of Coco Caliente. First and foremost, we have Nicole's parents here, Jeni Franzel, who you heard on the Mother's Day episode. Hi, Jeni.
Hello.
And then we also have Dave Franzel, who we've talked about several times before. Dave, say hello.
Hello.
He's a little bit more shy. Maybe we can break down his shyness here in a little bit. But the reason we're having the show and we have all four of us here is because Nicole wants to reveal something special.
I'm going back on Big Brother 22 All-Stars.
Yes. We're all very excited here. It's been a secret that we've been keeping, obviously,
Since
this episode.
March.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a call back in March when I was in Florida, and Victor actually wasn't with me. I was with my parents. And, you know, when you get a call from LA that shows up on your phone, it's just kind of like, oh, my God, like, what's up? Sometimes it's telemarketer and sometimes it's Big Brother. And it was Big Brother this time, and it was so exciting. And I immediately called Vic. I'm like, did you get a call for All-Stars? He's like... No. I'm like, just give it a couple days, and then we're excited, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, and obviously this episode is going to come out after the cast's release.
Yeah.
So
yeah, better not accidentally come out before then, Victor.
Yeah,
that'll be really bad.
So what we wanted to do was kind of like talk to Nicole beforehand, right? Like what she's feeling.
An exclusive interview of me.
Yeah, this is like something that everybody else would like to do, but they don't have their own podcast to do it, right?
Yeah.
So we finally get an opportunity to do this, and then, you know, Jeni and Dave are here to kind of get their feelings and their thoughts on it too. So it's kind of like a what is it, like a round table of discussion here. So first, Nicole, like what are you feeling?
Well, today I'm starting to feel. I leave in, to what Mom said today, 2 sleeps, so 48 hours. Mm-hmm. It's starting to hit me. I'm packing. Nothing's fitting in my suitcase. I'm starting to freak out about that, but I'm very excited. I'm very nervous, and it feels a whole lot different than it felt the last 2 times. The first time, I think, you know, you're just so excited and you don't know what to expect, and then now I feel like I know what to pack and what I need, and it's just not fitting, and just thinking about how long the season is away from home and knowing how it... I don't know. If I really think about it...
She'll probably start to cry.
Yeah, maybe. But when I'm in there, I'm so game focused. I don't think about home.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to do because I am a very empathetic person. I feel everything so deeply. And I think I just shut off, and I have to. You know, I cannot think about home. I cannot listen to music. I cannot, you know... luckily in the house, you don't see anything that makes you feel really deep feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
And let me set the scene for you guys. Like Nicole said, she's packing. I'm looking at the house. And you know how in the cartoons, when somebody's looking for something, or in the movies, they're just throwing clothes over their shoulder? It's pretty much the entire house right now with clothes and boxes and stuff that she ordered. So, I mean, it is a little cringeworthy for me. You guys know I'm a neat freak. But
I'll be gone in 2 days, so you can clean it up.
You make the sacrifice, right? So, Jeni, this is Jeni and Dave. This is Nicole's 3rd time going to be leaving for hopefully 3 months, right? All together, 3 months, come back with the prize. How are you guys feeling? How are you feeling, Jeni?
I'm going to get emotional here. It's a little different this year with everything that's going on, you know, this summer, but...
Like what? Like the COVID stuff?
Yeah, it's just a little bit more nerve-wracking and making sure everything is going to go smooth. It's a weird thing because it's not like a surprise to me. Like, it's more of a surprise to her. Like, last year when we were planning her wedding date, I planned the shower at the beginning of June, way before her wedding, just so I picked the date just because I'm like, oh, I think Big Brother is going to call. She's like, no, they're not. And then the wedding we picked on purpose.
October 3rd.
Yeah.
It should be over.
Yeah, so Big Brother's over. I'm like, okay, we can get everything done while you're gone. She's like, Mom, that's not going to happen, but if you feel good with these dates, go for it. And then...
They called.
Yeah, but then the COVID changed October 3rd. She's not going to be home. So it's been it's a lot of work this year.
Yeah.
Like planning a wedding on top of it and then leaving it all on you guys. And honestly, now this is the first time me leaving where my business is social media. Mm-hmm. That's how I make my income. And you guys are going to be running that for me. So that is a lot of stress on you guys. Normally I could just shut down my media and no one has to touch anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is pretty bizarre. Dave, how are you feeling about this whole thing? I know you're a little bit more quiet on the topic, but how do you feel when Nicole's gone or her going on the show? Because I know you're big, you're very competitive, so that's what you really look for in Nicole. Come back with the win, right?
And this is the first time, Dad, that you'll be retired watching me on the show, right?
Right. Yeah, this time it'll be exciting. I can actually enjoy it and not worry, I can stay up late, which I did before. But
then you have to get up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, but no, I'm excited. I'm excited to see who else is going to be on it with her and to see who she can team up with.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you watch the show, like when people are like conspiring against Nicole, or you want her to have the information that you have but she doesn't have, and you hear her like talking or making decisions that you'd otherwise wouldn't want her to make?
Yeah, the only thing you can do is just hopefully that, she knows what to do.
Yeah.
So hopefully I get a little hint somewhere.
And it's funny that we brought up the wedding because that was a whole nother layer on top of what we had going on. Even though we just had that episode where we talked about our wedding, we couldn't really talk about this aspect of it, and people not realizing that we're not just changing it to change it to a destination wedding to be cool, but
or strictly because of COVID.
Strictly because of COVID. It was because
in March I had that decision of like, okay, what are we gonna do? We pretty much had to change it, and now, yeah,
it really turned our world upside down. I also wanted to talk to you about real quick. So there were some rumors going around that you were crying to production and crying to Paul and Josh about getting on the show. What's your take on that?
Okay, so these rumors, they more upset like my friends and my family who knew I got asked back in March, where I didn't want to like say anything on Twitter because I am going on and I've been going on since March. And I think it's hilarious because I think they only asked like a very small selective.
Like a handful of people.
Yeah, and back then to see if it's even possible. And I just think it's so stupid. I don't know. I kind of know where it came from, and that's very ironic. And it came from someone who I believe is also going to be in the house. So we'll see how that pans out. But I don't know. I think it's dumb, and I think that I don't need to sit here and like. I would never call production. Like, what is wrong with people who even believe that I would ever call production? And honestly, I haven't talked to Josh and Paul.
Yeah.
And it's just like you can't dispel a rumor without seeming defensive, and I just think ignoring is the best thing. And then when they see it and realize it's not true, like whoever it came from, we know where it came from. It's like, what bad information you're putting out there? It's not true. Like
what makes us mad the most is that we're not the type of people to go lash out on Twitter where these other people would be. Right. So we like Nicole said, we better off just being quiet and letting things happen. And so people can see how things happen.
And for a little bit, I was like upset, like, oh my gosh, I am going on. Are people going to think I cried my way on this show? Like, how freaking ridiculous is this? But then I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I don't need to prove that I was one of the first ones asked. Well, here I am saying it. But it's like, yeah, mother freakers. You're crazy to think that I'm not going to get asked to be on All-Stars like right away because I was the first female to beat a male. Yeah. I am a decent player. Like, the fact that you think I would even have to cry my way on the show is pretty ridiculous.
So you guys know I'm all about facts. I love learning new information. And another thing you may or may not have known is that I used to work at a mattress store. So I know a lot about sleep and sleeping good, and also about not sleeping. So did you know that 70% of adults say they aren't getting enough sleep at least once per month? And I venture to say that people are like, just once a month? I don't get enough sleep several times a month. Sleep-related problems affect 50 to 70 million Americans. That's crazy. Getting a good night's sleep is important to your overall health. It helps reduce stress levels, gives you more energy, improves your memory, and helps your body repair itself. Mind-blowing. And you sleep so much, you would think that, I got to make this as best sleep as I can because I do this a lot and it affects my whole day the next day, right? So it's important to me. And so what I've been using is Som Sleep, right? Som Sleep is a drink, right? It's in a small 8-ounce can, and you take it 30 minutes before bed, like you just drink it, and you sleep great, and you wake up refreshed. It can help you fall asleep faster, and you'll sleep better throughout the night. The good thing is, unlike prescription sleep aids, Som Sleep is drug-free and non-habit forming and uses ingredients naturally found in your body like magnesium and melatonin. So get the original berry flavor or the zero sugar version. I use the zero sugar version. They're both non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, and gluten-free. Som Sleep is the solution for those of you who struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep. If you are one of the millions, actually, not just millions of adults having problems sleeping, you should try Som Sleep. Right now, Som Sleep is giving our listeners 15% off just by using code COCO at checkout. Just go to getsom.com. That's GETSOM.com. Getsom.com and use our code COCO at checkout for 15% off your order. So, Nicole, what'd you do different this time in preparation for, what'd you do in general to prepare?
Well, I started working out, but then I stopped.
You're welcome.
I did like the whole insanity program just to kind of build my, cardio?
Endurance, muscle, strength.
But then
cardio,
it got to the point of where now I feel like I'm scrambling so much I can't work out I haven't worked out for 3 weeks at least. And it's just, I probably should have, but you know what? I have 2 weeks before and I'm getting locked up. And I'm going to work out there too, but
I'll tell you what happened though. What happened was we had a date. We had a hard date.
Yeah.
And then it got pushed back. So Nicole was working out to get to that hard date that, okay, I'm going to work out and everything's going to be ready for this day.
Yeah.
And then everything got shifted. And I think everything got shifted again.
It did. And it just kind of got to be like, oh my gosh, I just need a break.
Yeah, I can't go hard for that long.
It was 3 or 4 months. Oh my God, now I'm back to the starting weight and everything. But honestly, I still think I'm better shape than I was in March. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Do you think it
I do.
stuck a little bit?
And you've been reading books too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to reread. I only read one book so far. I'm going to read the other one in sequester as well. I know I'm putting everything off. But what I did is I made sure everyone has gifts and stuff for the special events I'm going to be missing more so than prepping myself, which isn't necessarily the smartest thing, but I feel like that will mean more, in the long run. And I think over prepping is a thing. I think if you prep too much and you're like, oh, I got to have everything in a row, and you're going to be more disappointed where it's like, hey, I'm just going to this like I went into 18 and I freaking won 18.
Well, for example, if somebody asks you what your strategy is, you're
I
like,
have
I don't know.
Yeah,
I won't know until I'm there.
I got to see who's in there. That's the biggest thing.
All right, what do you got for us, Jeni? I know you had some questions for Nicole, and I want to get your input. What's your take on all this?
Okay, I'm just going to ask a few questions.
Okay.
First of all, from Twitter and just reading and rumors, who are 4 people that you expect to see in the house?
I definitely expect to see from Twitter rumors
or any rumors or anything you've read or articles.
Okay, I expect to see for sure Josh in the house from rumors. I expect to see from inside scoops.
Like Casey, right?
Yeah, Casey's definitely one.
I feel like she's been posting a lot about that stuff.
I think I expect to see Ian Terry. I know a lot of people thought Houston meant Haley, but I really think that Ian Terry will be there. And I'm trying to think.
Maybe Davon?
Oh, yeah, Davon for sure. When I was interviewing Natalie and Michelle on Winners at War, I knew I was going on. And so I was trying to ask questions to Natalie, how did the pre-alliances work? And she's like, oh, it sucked. People were working together. And if I could go back, I would reach out to people. And I still didn't reach out to people because I'm just I'm too scared.
Well, because she's like you. She's more about the fair game as well. You know
let's
what I
just
mean?
get in there and then let's see who's in there and let's get at it.
It's supposed to be. Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, nobody owes me anything right now, and that's a little bit scary.
Okay, so moving on to the 4. Who are 4 people, whether they are your friends outside here, that you do not want to see in the house, competitive-wise, or that you think will go after you wise, right away? Or
personality that don't like you.
4 people that you honestly don't trust to play with.
Gosh, Mom, you're asking me some hard questions. I didn't prep these. So
off the cuff,
obviously,
Nicole.
I don't want to see the Riley sisters, and Rachel's pregnant, so that can't happen. Melissa would be number 2, and then let me think of personality wise of someone I absolutely don't want to see. Vic, who else?
I don't know. I mean,
Anybody that's even scary, that
Okay, yeah, like that I'm just like intimidated by.
Yeah.
Nobody. Nicole is intimidated by no one.
No, I don't want Casey as competition. I think she has a great social game, and I think she's a competition beast. She just made it all the way on the challenge, so she's a huge, huge threat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know there's a lot of people I'm scared of. I would love to play with Dan, but he's a little bit scary because he's super good, I guess. But I'm not like very terrified of anyone that. See, the thing is, my brain goes to people that are all-stars, which is kind of mean. So I'm like not considering some people that I know that just can't be in the pool. Not to be mean, but like Michelle couldn't be in that pool.
Yeah.
And I don't want to start any fights, so I'll just go with that.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about how we had to do the welcome package, which was different than normal years, right?
Yeah.
Normally, which is no secret, a film crew comes out and they film you at your house and doing a bunch of different things. But COVID kind of changed everything. And so Nicole and I and Jeni and Dave, and I think that was pretty much just the four of us, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they sent camera equipment, and I was like in charge of all the camera equipment, and we had to set up scenes around the house, and then we went to Nicole's brother's farm or land, and mm-hmm. Dave brought out the tractor, and Jeni was out there. And
it was one of the best days of my life in a long time.
But it was just weird having to do that ourselves.
But it was cool. You did a really good job. You were like loving being a producer. And back to your question, Mom. I guess person that I'm going to say is Natalie, because I really hope not to see her, because she has how long has it been since we've been on the show?
2016.
Okay, so she'll come up with Twitter rants about me throwing her underwear. Victor and I both know it wasn't me, right? That did that. It wasn't you. It wasn't me that did that. She did an Us article. She did tweets like trying to bash me, saying I hate women about things, saying I threw her underwear during a competition. Well, Victor and I both 100% know who it was, and it wasn't me, but I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, and I just sit there and take it. So if she's doing that 4 years later, I can only imagine what she's going to try to do to me in a house.
Yeah, that would be nerve-wracking.
But good thing she voted for you way back then.
Yeah, good thing. Good thing.
I have to tell you guys about a new amazing service I found called FrameBridge. FrameBridge makes it easier and more affordable than ever to frame your favorite things without ever leaving the house. Spruce up your home, office, or send the perfect gift to a loved one. From art prints and diplomas to the photos sitting on your phone, you can FrameBridge just about anything. So here's how it works. Just go to framebridge.com and upload your photo, or they'll send you packaging to safely mail in your physical pieces. Preview your item online in dozens of frame styles. Choose your favorite or get free recommendations from their talented designers. The experts at FrameBridge will custom frame your item and deliver you finished piece directly to your door, ready to hang. Instead of the hundreds you'd pay at a framing store, their prices start at $39 and all shipping is free. Yes, free. Plus, my listeners will get 15% off their first order of FrameBridge when they use my code COCO, C-O-C-O. So, for example, I had this a family crest made. I got this guy, I think it was like in Ireland, and he did this family crest, and it looked very royal, right? Royal. And it had different parts of like Nicole and her side of the family and her, like the colors that she chose and symbolism. And I did the same. And we got this done. It got shipped over here. And then we sent it to FrameBridge and they framed it up. And it got here and I hung it up on the wall and it looks awesome. So I highly, highly recommend it. So get started today. Frame your photos or send someone the perfect gift. Go to framebridge.com and use promo code COCO to save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com and use promo code COCO. Framebridge.com, promo code COCO.
Okay, back to the four again. Who are four people you're hoping to see in the house?
Dani Donato. I'd love to work with her. I would obviously love to work with Victor. I know he's not going.
Yeah. Want.
Derek would be good. I think that Derek and I would, he'd owe me loyalty and I'd owe him loyalty. And Paul, I think, would be really great. Those are people that I would see and I'd be like, oh, I got your back 100% and you got my back 100%. And Brittany Haynes and I are really close. I think that she'd be great to have, and she'd make me laugh a lot. So those people, I would just be like, oh, thank God. Those are all people at our engagement as well. Mm-hmm. So anybody from our engagement, I think I'd be really excited to see.
Yeah, that was quite a day. All right, go ahead, Dave. What do you got for us?
Well, I was thinking Donnie,
Oh, yeah, Donnie would be great. Donnie would be a great ally. I would love to see Donnie. See, I forget. He's definitely all-star material as well. So
he was America's favorite.
Yeah, and he won a lot of competitions by himself.
He was underestimated, right? Because then he had that solo run where he was just winning everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would love to work with Donnie. See, I think, and honestly, Frankie, I think, would be great. I think Caleb would have my back. I think a lot of people from 16, I'd be like, oh, yes, this is awesome. And majority from 18, I'm not really quite sure. but yeah.
And just talking, like when you're naming all these names, most of them are male. So everybody goes on about you not liking females, but it's more about loyalty.
Yeah.
Like who has your back? Like in
Christine,
the real world.
Yeah, and in 16, Christine and I were best friends. We had our own alliance, and she totally backstabbed me. And next thing you know, I have nobody. And then I have to turn to someone else who's loyal to me, Hayden, who was loyal to me. Mm-hmm. And then on 18, me, Davon, and we kind of had like
Zakiya, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I was Zakiya's ally all the way to the end. I didn't vote her out.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, and I thought I was Michelle's ally, and they all turned on me too. And so whoever's loyal to me is who I'm going to stick with. I can't help it if a girl is turning her back on me or a guy's turning her back on me, but whoever it is, I'm going to cut them. Mm-hmm. Whatever gender they are, I don't care.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was going to tell you now. Don't worry about that even coming this time. You go with who's ever loyal with you.
Yeah, and people might think I need to go in there and be like, oh my gosh, Nicole hates women. She needs to work with... I don't hate women. Anyways, I have... That's not even something I'm going to defend myself.
It's just irrelevant. That's so stupid.
Yeah, but I'm saying that... I'm not going to go in there trying to prove something because I know who I am and I don't need to prove it to you guys. I know I work with people who are loyal to me and who have my back 100%. If someone's talking shit about me in the next room, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm not working with them. Mm-hmm. And I hear about that. You know, it's not anything to do with, it's just so annoying.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever even put two girls up on the blog or anything like that. So,
well, what sucks is that you even have to defend yourself when that's not true. I think that's the most frustrating part. Yeah.
For some reason, the guys are more loyal. I don't know why. I don't know if
or they have been, right? Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen this time.
It could be different.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to go in there and look for who is going to be my best ally. Let me take a look around the room and who is it? Mm-hmm. And I should feel it within, the first 12 hours. you know who you're going to be working with until the end. Yeah,
you catch those vibes. So what are you going to miss most from home? What's
obviously
something?
My family and you and my animals. I'm such a homebody. I'm just going to miss being home, I think. But I'm very excited for this experience. I think it's going to... It's a challenge. This is a huge challenge in the times we're in right now with everything going on in the world. I'm very scared to leave, like, my parents in this pandemic. Yeah. Because I'm so terrified they're going to get it. And I'm just, like, telling them, stay home, wear masks.
You guys have no idea how it's been recently since Nicole is leaving, right? Yeah. She had to take a COVID test, but now she's stressing to me and Jeni and Dave and her brother, don't get near anybody, wear a mask, do all this stuff, so she doesn't get sick, so she can still have this opportunity. So it's been kind of a whirlwind, and obviously we're protecting ourselves too. But
it's like N95s,
the extra
everywhere.
Stress of like Nicole getting sick, so she can't go
after all this.
Yeah, you imagine? Oh my gosh,
it's just another added layer of stress. But yeah, I'm gonna miss everything. But I know what it's like to come back, and it's like you never left. That's what I really want to come back, and it feel like I never left. I guess I'm scared because everyone's doing so well right now. I'm so happy, everyone's healthy. Mm-hmm. I have good income. I have everything that I'm very fortunate and happy. I couldn't ask for anything more. And so in a little bit of a way, I'm like, God, I'm just scared that things are going to change when I come back.
Yeah, you just want it to pick up where you left off when you come back. You just don't want anything to be different.
No.
So, and I love how excited she is about going all the time because she's just so excited. Me, it's like I get excited for her, but I know I'm going to miss her and stuff. But it'll be anything. Like the other day, I said something about eating. She goes, "Oh, Mom, I got to make the most bomb ass grocery list. I can't wait till I get to that house that we're going to, and I seeing all my groceries." And I'm like thinking, Nicole, you don't lack for groceries at home. You buy whatever you want already. But she makes I like how you make like the best. You get so excited about even the little things. So I know
Avocados.
like anything like the eat. It's just kind of cute. I was like, oh, well, you do eat at whatever you want at home.
Nicole and I are all about being knowledgeable about what we're using, right? Because we always want to be healthier. We always want to be on top of things, and we read labels and like to use the most natural, organic things for our bodies, right? So we've been using Native deodorant to be specific, and Nicole swears by this, right? So Native deodorant doesn't just block your odor, it's made better. They have ingredients you've heard of like coconut oil, shea butter, and tapioca starch. It's also vegan and never tested on animals. And if you know Nicole, this is a huge point for her. Aluminum forms a plug in your sweat glands to keep you from sweating. That's why Native never uses ingredients like aluminum, parabens, and sulfates or talc. I mean, that just doesn't sound good. I've heard about that before, and then people get these bumps in their armpits, and that's no bueno. Switching to an aluminum-free deodorant doesn't mean you have to sacrifice on odor protection. Native will keep you smelling and feeling fresh all day long. And they have over 10 scents, and the most popular ones are coconut and vanilla. And what I also just learned, which is so cool, that Native is now doing plastic-free deodorant. Like their packaging is going to be 0% plastic, 100% paperboard, right? And they'll be available in 5 different scents for men and women in that packaging. So coconut and vanilla, lavender and rose, cucumber and mint, charcoal, and citrus and herbal musk. And I think that's awesome because what they're trying to do is they're trying to be plastic free by 23. It's a new initiative that they're pushing. So to have sustainable packaging options for all their products by the end of 2023. Another cool thing is that they're doing summer seasonal scents, right? So the new product lines that they're dropping just through September 14th, and that's oak and amber, sweet peach and nectar, cactus flower and poppy, apple and honeysuckle. I mean, they have it going on. It's really cool. You guys should definitely give it a try. If you want to be more natural and sustainable for the environment, Native is the way to go. Do what I did and make the switch to Native today by going to nativedeo.com/Coco or use promo code Coco, C-O-C-O, at checkout and get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/Coco or use promo code Coco at checkout for 20% off your first order. So Jeni, do you watch the live feeds while she's gone? Is that something you do?
Only if there's a competition. Like I subscribe to them, and only if there's a competition that goes into the night. But besides that, I don't need to, because all you have to do is get on Twitter for 2 seconds, and everybody tells you every last thing you need to know and sends you every clip that you need to look at. So there's.
Do you jump on every now and then just to see what's going on?
I used to, like,
I don't
the
know
first
how you
season.
Don't. Like, I'm in a room somewhere. What the heck, Mom?
No, I don't, because like somebody will say she's talking to you. Then they'll send me the clip. I don't even need to go look at anything.
That's nice, though.
I mean, maybe now, because Victor, you weren't here the other, like when you're around, you'll turn it on, and we'll just all watch it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Victor will watch it.
I probably won't watch live feeds. I don't know. I
like to watch the competitions though on the live feeds when they go off. That's Definitely. The first thing I do is turn those on. And,
for the live show.
But I'm sure I'll hear a lot more. Jesse's girlfriend Ashley's been talking about. She's really excited about the live feeds. Gonna watch.
Yeah, Victor,
them.
This question's for you. How do you feel about me going on Big Brother?
It'll be weird because I don't know. The last things that we've done, it's you and me, right? So the last thing was Amazing Race or getting engaged, and then Big Brother we did together, right? Separately, but together. So it's definitely going to be weird watching you, and I don't know, probably guys at work making fun of me or whatever.
Hopefully I don't embarrass you too much.
But no, I think it'll be fine. I don't know. And then I'll be doing this podcast talking about it, right? And kind of going through what's going on in there and what's going on out here at the same time. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll be fine. It'll just be weird, right? and I don't know if I'll be watching live
I know
feeds.
Mariah watches live feeds like all the time.
Yeah.
So she'll let you guys know if there's anything. But I don't know how you wouldn't, Mom, want to see like someone talking crap about me and being like...
Well, that's probably the part that I don't want to see, right? Is people talking crap and not being able to do anything, right?
Yeah,
I'd rather not
tough.
hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, and inevitably you're going to see it when the show airs because that'll be part of a package, right? So you're going to see it anyway.
Yeah.
And I can't go attack them because I teach you kill them with kindness. So
Yeah,
I don't want to
don't.
go. I can't change it. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't get in Twitter fights, anybody, because that is just dumb. It just fuels the fire. Just ignore it because don't even let it get to you. And I've been doing really good with the book I read, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, which I mentioned before. It's very good for knowing if you're letting that negative energy like make you mad, it's going to affect you in your day. So just ignore it. And I have been doing really good ignoring, I feel like, stuff lately.
You have been.
Because I've been talking, even for my wedding, like if there's a disaster, something that comes up, I'm like talking my bridesmaids down.
Managing
I'm, like,
stress. You've been managing stress a whole lot better.
Yeah.
That's what yep.
Yeah, and even like I see mean stuff about me on the internet, and it's just kind of like, whatever.
Okay, and I'm going to say less than you to not give this away but just for an example, like things do get to you a little bit. And I had read something on Twitter, or to me, I read something on Twitter last week or the week before where somebody who hosts a show, I'm not going to say who the name is, and was writing tweeted something like, I don't even know why they would consider Nicole for this or whatever. From 16. I don't know why they brought her back to 18, they said.
Yeah.
So because of the
yeah.
16 thing. And, I immediately called Nicole and I said, let me see your Twitter information because I remember all her DMs because I ran the Twitter. And that same person, like I had to read it and make myself feel better. He had asked her to be on his show
like 5 or 6
numerous times. Told her she was the only one that was any good. Her
that
and
wasn't
Donnie,
a sheep.
her and Donnie were the only two not a sheep on that played so good. And like loved her, and then now talks crap about her ever since she didn't do a show. So it's
but it's fine. Guess what? I have those DMs, and like I could put those out there. But do I even care enough to do that? No.
She has the DM. She has the evidence.
And I think that's when you have the power, Mom. Is like you're not sitting there like.
But I got over it as soon as I
Yeah.
had you send them to me. I was like, okay, I'm breathing now. But it just makes me angry because it's like, why, you know this already. Why do you say such stupid stuff, you know?
There's a lot of stuff. Most of the stuff on Twitter about me is 100% not true, and it's just very aggravating. I mean, everything isn't true.
That's why.
That's what's the most frustrating thing, but whatever.
Twitter is a cesspool of hate, and
Yeah.
that's why I changed my Twitter to our podcast Twitter, so it's not me anymore.
Yeah, and you know what? It's only going to get so much worse. If people are talking crap about me right now when I'm not even on TV, and it's been, 5 years since I won, or 4 years, I don't even know. Imagine what's going to happen when I just show up. It's going to piss people off. And like, haters, I'm sorry, but I'm back, and there's nothing you can really do about it.
All right, so Nicole, you win $500,000. What do?
Well, I promised my parents some cash.
Making it
then,
rain.
Not me, her dad.
and then we're definitely going to get that farmhouse. Or a farmhouse. That's what I want to do. And then start a family immediately with an animal sanctuary. I guess that's like what I want to do. And right now I really can't afford to do that, which stinks. Even though I saved the majority of my money, like living is expensive.
Living is expensive. And I'd hesitate to say animal sanctuary, but take in some animals here and there and then get them back to maybe another owner. But animal sanctuary would be super expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even, in
Nicole's dream, we would have millions of dollars to take care of a bunch of animals.
Too bad, and raise like 8 kids, but too bad that would help on the farm. But too bad that it's not $1 million this time.
That would be nice, right? I mean, you would think. Isn't that what they did for Survivor?
They did $2 million for Survivor, and we're locked up for 90 days.
Yeah, that's crazy. Survivor is where you make the big bucks.
What do you want to say, Mom?
My feelings on Nicole's animal sanctuary. She's going to get mad at me for this one. She's just taken a kitten that her dad gave, but she gave me her 2 dogs to take care of while she has the kitten. So I've had the dogs for the last...
Yeah, I got to do what's best for everybody.
So I have the 2 dogs for the last 3 weeks. So she definitely is going to need a big enough place where she can keep all these animals separate because...
Or let them get along from young age. I'm just afraid right now because the kitten's too little.
Yeah,
and Mariah's taking the kitten,
yeah,
so
I was
the
about to
dog's
say, and the kitten's not going to be here forever anyway.
too bad.
And
Otherwise,
I'm going to ship the dogs back to Victor when you leave.
I mean, I don't know how. 2 days out of the week, probably. They'll be working.
Okay, we're going to share them.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to share them. I am okay with
and
that.
I have a bunch of outside cats that I'm already worried Victor's not going to feed. But it is what it is.
Oh, yeah, I just listened to that. And he's like about 10 minutes before we started, she's telling him outside he has to go look for them because they just might be out there.
No, they got to come look for the food that I put out there.
No, they sometimes wait for me to walk out. Though I'm really worried about what I'm worried about leaving. I know that you guys can all handle each other. You've done this how many times? Okay, you can handle yourselves. You can cook for yourselves. I'm worried about the animals that depend on me only. I am all these cats' mothers, okay? Or I'm all these cats' mother. You know? They depend on me for life. Even the kitten. I'm very afraid about the kitten because I'm its mom.
The kitten will be fine. Your stray cats
I'm glad that I don't have
fine.
a bunch of other animals.
So am I, because
And I'm worried about my plants are going to die, but it's fine.
that might be your biggest concern right there. Those plants may die. I'm sorry. All right, so Nicole, you got to say a goodbye to our listeners
Okay.
for hopefully the next 3
Do you have any
months.
more questions, Mom? Are you good?
I think I'm pretty good. We talked about the strategy. Oh, the one thing I want to talk about in 18, when everybody said you were sitting down. What did you tell me? Tell me the reason that you sat in that
Mom,
you
I don't
picked.
need to defend myself.
No,
okay, I picked the spot in the house where I sat when people said I laid all down all season. I could see freaking everything from there. Everyone walking from the living room to all the bedrooms. I could hear things. There's mirrors up where you can see people coming around the side. And I would sit there and I would kind of... That was strategy.
I just think that's so smart. It's just funny because I'm not,
sitting there, you see who's mingling with who, and you also seem kind of like a dead animal, I guess, of like, okay, she's not. I'm not trying to mingle with everyone. If you're mingling with everyone, you're a freaking threat. I learned that on 16. Frankie was like everyone's best friend, huge threat. Nobody liked it, and I think if you just sit there and you observe, you learn so much, and you don't seem like, oh, Nicole's everyone's best friend. That's how I got to final 2. Paul didn't think anyone liked me, right? I kept putting that in his head. Wow, no one likes me. No one likes me. Never kissed butt and never was everyone's friend. And look I freaking won. And this time I'm not saying that's going to work. This time I think all I'm going to have to do is kiss butt, and I'm going to really suck at it.
No, I just think that was when you came home and told me that strategy about that spot. I was just like, wow, because nobody even seen it. Like, it's something people can't.
Yeah, there's mirrors up on the
them.
walls too to see if someone's coming. Like, if you're going to run into someone, and I could see and hear so much stuff. Like, literally, I knew what was going on every single. Okay, if I'm just sitting there. Let me ask you this question. Whoever's talking crap about me was saying I just sat there. If I'm just sitting there, how the hell do I know what's going on every single week? In 16, I was all over the place. I didn't sit at all. I didn't know what was going on any single week. 18, I freaking knew what was going on every week. I was never shocked. I was never even on the block. So you tell me, if someone's just sitting there, that's a good strategy. Right? Do you get what I'm saying?
You don't even have to defend yourself.
Yeah, so it's just like I knew what was going on. I didn't even have to get up.
Well, I thought you were playing the whole time. So, like, just seeing it, like, I knew it. I knew you were, like, you put Paulie up the very first week, and then he came on your team.
He's my best ally. 100% Paulie is the best ally I've ever had in the Big Brother house. I will make that statement now. No one was more loyal, more... just like gung-ho winning, I loved, Paulie was the best player I've ever played with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he protected you all the way until, he...
And I'll admit it, I put him up week 1 because I was fine with him going home. Because I was scared of him. Cody wasn't loyal to me and I was terrified. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to win a lot of comps. And I wanted Jose gone or Paulie. And then look, that would have been a huge mistake, but it made us have that bonding point. And that's another thing this season going on. If someone puts me up as a pawn, I'm not stupid. I'm expendable to them. And if I put someone up as a pawn, same thing goes for them. This is All-Stars. This isn't some, I can convince someone that it's strategy. No, it's not strategy. You're fine with me going home. And so I'm never going to volunteer to go on the block, obviously, and take one for the team. Hell no.
Absolutely not.
And I have one more question for Nicole. Do you think you're going to be a bigger threat, the people that actually won it or should have won it? Do you think they're going to be a big threat when they go on.
Yeah, I think since I won, people are going to automatically say, like Victor said when I was on 18, she already had her chance. Now it'll be she already won. So we didn't even win twice, or we didn't even win once. We can't let someone win twice. So that's something I really, really, I'm hoping there's quite a few winners in there, like Casey, me, Ian, just to name a few. And Derek would be amazing if he was in there, and Dan, because... heck, I'd be nothing. I'd be, So I'm hoping I can play that role, but at the same time, I think that just winning is a huge thing I'm going to have to work with. It's something that people get annoyed with. She won.
And maybe, a little resentment, jealousy, whatever.
For sure. And they'll never admit that. It'll just be for some other dumb reason, but it's okay.
Do you think you're going to have to jump out of a box again or no?
No. I'm wondering how they're going to make us enter the house. Like, are we all going to walk out in sets of... I'm honestly hoping it's only a cast of like 12 or 14, not 16. Just because it's a smaller time,
Yeah.
I want a buyback.
You know what I'm hoping? I think this would be so cool. Big Brother, you listening? I think it'd be cool, like somebody who really doesn't like each other, if you had them already paired up secretly, that each week that they keep, that person stays in, they build their pots bigger and get more money so that they're protecting and nobody knows who else somebody's protecting, and they're protecting somebody
That's a good idea.
along with themselves the entire time.
That'd be good, because that would be good, really good, because then people can't have... Right when you walk in, people are going to have targets who they don't like in the outside world. That's something we've never had before.
Yeah.
You had to get to know people. And now I feel like, okay, crushes and showmances are not going to be a thing, which is a great thing, because... I hope that people aren't showmancing, because that's something you got to worry about more. But most people have relationships back home, and so that's really great that you don't have to... You know how those bonds start?
A lot of everybody that's going in are adults
now
that
and with
have
kids
in relationships, married.
And so, and another thing is I don't have kids, and a lot of people like, I need money for my kids. It's like, yeah, I do too, but they're not here yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to have 8 of them, so I need lots of money.
Well, all right. Unless you guys got anything else. No, you guys are good. All right, Nicole, you're going to have to do one last hoorah here for our listeners.
Okay.
We'll be gone for a little bit, and they...
I hope I'm gone for a little bit. I hope I'm not returning anytime soon. Thank you guys so much for continuing to listen to Coco Caliente. I hope you root for me and, show positive, words on social media and positive reviews, and give Victor a break. He really doesn't know what he's doing over here by himself. Now that the heart of the podcast is going to be gone, we'll see how well it does. But no, he's going to do really well. And just thank you so much for the support, because this is a really cool opportunity, and I hope you understand that. I'm taking it and going to make the most of it.
All right. Well, thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Jeni, for being on the podcast today.
And you'll probably hear lots from me this summer, because I'm going to be Victor's co-host.
Yeah, she'll be hopping in from time to time on the episodes. All right. Bye-bye, Dave.
Yeah, we'll see you.
So skip to now by myself. Nicole's been gone going on 2 weeks now. The show airs tomorrow, and it sucks being alone. Not to get too sad or nostalgic or anything about having her here. This is the first time I'm recording by myself. It's kind of weird. The house is empty. It's definitely a different vibe in here because it's just me. Today I have the dogs with me, so that's nice. A good reminder to have Nicole. And then the kitty, I gave the kitty to Nicole's best friend, Mariah. She's over there with Brian, and Brian works from home, and the kitty is very much loved over there. I've seen pictures. He sent me photos, and the kitty's happy. So I don't know. It just kind of sucks now being by myself, but I got to stay supportive. I got to stay positive. I'm happy for Nicole. Any rumors that you hear on social media are pretty much not true. Just, by the way, I'm not even going to get into that topic. But anyway, I just wanted to close this out myself because it'll pretty much just be me moving forward. I'm going to have different guests, though, to come in with me to talk about the show. Like we said, Nicole's mom, she'll hop on. I might even have like Brittany Hayes or Josh Martinez or, anybody else. Paul. I was talking to Paul. Might have Paul on the show. And anybody else that I can think of that can share some insight or input about the show, because pretty much be tracking Nicole on Big Brother now and any other exciting stuff that comes up. So But anyway, now I just want to read you guys a review because, like we always say, and Nicole would chime in at this point, without you, there is no us. And we're really appreciative, and we thank you guys for, following our show. It's been over a year now, and it's kind of crazy pushing into year 2 here come next year, right? January, February, something like that. Anyway, this was from P. Hamlin. P. Hamlin. Love, love, love. 5 stars. Hello, Nick and Vic. I watched both of you on Big Brother, and I instantly loved Nicole. I am a fellow Michigander, so I love the Midwest Mondays. And when you talk about Midwest stuff on the podcast, I feel like I can relate so much of what you two talk about. I never miss a podcast and often find myself wishing there were more. I just saw that Nicole will be on BB All-Stars, and I cannot wait to cheer her on. So happy for her. So happy for you. So happy for Nicole. Okay, she's happy for Nicole. Yes. Thank you for sticking to your roots. Keep being you. Also, thank you, Victor, for serving Michigan as a trooper. Well, thank you. We appreciate your service. Heart. Well, thank you. We appreciate you guys and everything you do for us. Like I said, you guys are the ones that keep the grease on the wheels for this podcast. So please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. The easiest way is on Apple Podcasts. And you can listen to this anywhere you listen to podcasts. So tell your friends, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or you can go to www.cococalientepodcast.com. And you can also check out our merchandise there. It's a great way to support Nicole is by go grabbing some merchandise. And don't forget to follow us at Coco Caliente Pod on Twitter and at Coco Caliente Podcast on Instagram. Thank you.